Most people think they're just boarding a flight. What they actually have is a collection of comforts, illusions maintained by the crew, repeated in safety briefings and trusted right up until the reality is even stranger than the fear of flying itself. A passenger in the next row died under a blanket, and you think they're just tired. A tiny hole appears at the bottom of your window, and you assume the glass is defective. You order a hot coffee, convinced the water is as clean as what you'd find on the ground. It all looks routine. It all looks safe. But at 35,000 feet, the truth is often hidden behind a thin plastic mask and a 15-minute timer. These are 7 darkest airplane secrets that passengers still don't know. 1. Have you ever wondered if the uncomfortable middle seat in the back is actually your best chance at surviving a disaster? It sounds like a myth told by airlines to fill the least popular spots on a plane, but the reality is backed by 35 years of crash data. Most passengers scramble for extra legroom in the front or an aisle seat for a quick exit. However, studies of aircraft accidents reveal a shocking truth. Middle seats in the rear third of the cabin have the highest survival rate at 72%. The logic is grim but simple. In most crashes, the nose takes the initial impact, making the front the most vulnerable zone. Meanwhile, the wings carry the fuel, turning the middle of the plane into a high-risk area for fires. By sitting in the very back, you put the maximum distance between yourself and the point of impact. Surprisingly, the aisle seats in the middle of the aircraft, the ones everyone fights for, are statistically the most dangerous place to be when things go wrong. While the safe seat might be the one you hate for a long flight, the documented numbers suggest it's the one that could save your life. It's a chilling reminder that in an emergency, comfort and survival rarely go hand in hand. 2. Gemini said, have you ever looked at your boarding pass and noticed 4 letters that feel like a digital curse? It sounds like a travel myth, but seeing SSSS on your ticket is a death sentence for your time. This isn't a glitch. It stands for Secondary Security Screening Selection. It's the ultimate red flag, meaning the TSA has flagged you as suspicious before you even reach the gate. The logic is buried in secret algorithms, but certain behaviors trigger it instantly. Buying a one-way ticket with cash, booking a last-minute international flight, or having an inconsistent travel history can land you on the list. While others breeze through, an SSSS traveler faces a much more invasive experience: full-body pat-downs, electronic device testing, and explosive swabs for every inch of their luggage. Once flagged, you usually can't check in online or at a kiosk, forcing a high-stress encounter with an agent. It's a chilling reminder that your travel history is being watched closer than you think. A few simple letters can turn any quick trip into a security nightmare. Have you ever been hit with the SSSS code, or is your record still clean? Tell me your airport horror stories in the comments. 3. It sounds like a scene from a horror movie, but on long-haul flights, death is a statistical reality. While you're watching a rom-com, the crew might be quietly executing the corpse cupboard protocol, a secret plan to keep 300 people from descending into mid-air panic. The legend suggests every plane has a hidden body locker. In reality, while some airlines once installed corpse cupboards, they are incredibly rare. Most jets simply don't have the space. So what happens when a heart stops at 35,000 feet? The protocol is chillingly low-tech. The crew quietly moves the deceased to an empty row, buckles them in, and tucks a blanket up to their chin. The goal is a silent sleep. To the rest of the cabin, the person is just resting. If the flight is full, that body might stay right in its original seat, inches away from unsuspecting neighbors. It is a grim, necessary theater that lasts until the wheels touch the tarmac and the authorities board. It's a haunting reminder that a flight attendant's most important job isn't serving drinks, it's maintaining the illusion of life, even when the passenger in 14B is never waking up. 4. Ever realize that once the cabin door shuts, you aren't just on a plane, you're in a high-altitude dictatorship? It sounds like a pilot's power trip, but under international aviation law, the captain holds what are known as God powers. They aren't just drivers, they are the supreme commanders of a pressurized metal tube. Until the wheels touch the tarmac, the authority is absolute. Once airborne, A captain has the legal right to arrest a passenger, use physical restraints, and issue fines for non-compliance. The powers even border on the surreal. If a passenger is dying at 35,000 feet, the captain is legally authorized to take their last will and testament. In the eyes of the law, the cockpit is a floating embassy, and the person in the left seat is the judge and jury of cabin safety. This isn't about fasten seatbelt signs. It's about maintaining total order in an environment where one person's panic could endanger everyone. The friendly pilot persona masks a chilling reality. You are living under their law for the duration of the flight. 5. Have you ever noticed that the flight crew almost always carries their own water and rarely touches the onboard coffee? It isn't just a picky preference. The reality of the infected water tank is enough to make your stomach churn. While you're sipping a hot tea, you're likely drinking from a system that is notoriously difficult to sanitize. This isn't just a rumor. Major studies have shown that 1 in 8 planes failed water safety standards, with some tanks even testing positive for E. coli. The logistics are as gross as they are simple. These potable tanks are filled using hoses and trucks at airports all over the world, and they are tucked so deep into the airframe that they are rarely scrubbed. Even worse, the heat used to brew your coffee often doesn't reach the temperature necessary to kill the pathogens lurking in the pipes. That's why the pros have a golden rule. If it didn't come from a sealed bottle, don't let it touch your lips. It's a silent health gamble happening in every cabin. While the crew smiles and pours, they are quietly avoiding the very water they're handing to you. 6. Ever notice that tiny, deliberate hole at the bottom of your cabin window and feel a sudden chill? It looks like a manufacturing defect or a hairline crack, but that bleed hole is actually one of the only things standing between you and explosive decompression. Without it, the massive pressure difference between the cabin and the thin, freezing air outside would cause the windows to shatter like ice. The physics is a high-stakes balancing act. Airplane windows aren't just one piece of glass. They are 3 separate layers of thick acrylic. The outer pane takes the brutal brunt of the external atmospheric pressure, while the bleed hole in the middle pane allows the pressure to equalize between the cabin and the gap. It ensures the strongest outermost layer bears the load while keeping the inner pane from fogging up. It's a tiny structural miracle, hidden in plain sight. While you're leaning against the glass to catch the sunset, that microscopic opening is quietly holding back an ocean of air, trying to crush its way inside. It's a haunting reminder that every inch of a plane is engineered for a battle against the elements that you aren't even supposed to notice. 7. Have you ever looked at those little yellow oxygen masks and thought they were your personal life support system for the entire flight? It sounds like a comforting safety net, but the reality is a 12 to 15-minute race against time. Those masks don't draw from a massive oxygen tank. They rely on small chemical canisters that, once triggered, provide just enough air for the pilot to perform an emergency kamikaze descent to a breathable altitude. The logic is terrifyingly simple. If the cabin depressurizes at 35,000 feet, the air is too thin to keep you conscious for more than a few seconds. The 10,000-foot timer starts the moment those masks drop. If the pilot can't dive the plane fast enough, due to mountains, weather, or mechanical failure, those masks become useless plastic. You aren't being saved by the mask. You're being bought a few precious minutes of consciousness while the plane falls out of the sky. This isn't just a safety feature, it's a high-stakes gamble with physics. While we trust the click of the oxygen mask, the truth is that your life is hanging by a 15-minute chemical reaction. It's a chilling reminder that at 7 miles high, every breath is a borrowed luxury.